Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai, haere mai, ki te hoko at EVES Rotorua, called Grantchild, toko ingoa. Greetings ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome here to the EVES auction room this morning for just one fantastic property. My name's Grantchild, I'm simply facilitating proceedings here and just giving you the opportunity to buy one very, very special property indeed. When we buy and sell through the auction process, we do have documentation. So I'm going to take you to that documentation now, just so that everybody's on the same playing field. As you came in through the entrance into the auction room, you would have walked past the table there where there's finalised copies of the auction contract, and of course also the buyers and sellers guide that you see there on the screen. But I know that will have been widely circulated through your inspections throughout the marketing campaign. Any bidding today is on the basis that we have provided you this document, and of course when you sign the contract of sale you are confirming in writing that we have provided it to you. So let's go to that contract now. It's a very clear, concise, simple document approved by the Auckland District Law Society, the vendor's solicitor, and of course the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand. That's how it looked like in draft form. The finalised copies, as I said, are out there on the table. If there's been any alterations or any additions, deletions, I will alert you to that, but I know our marketing consultants would have kept you fully informed. By way of any bidding today, folks, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood, and accept that contract that we worked to today. But I'm just going to go back to the front page and just revisit very briefly the conduct of auction, which you see there on screen. Again, I'm not going to go through that in its entirety. A couple of important points. Obviously, our sellers have set reserve prices here today. Subject to that being reached or exceeded, then the highest bidder, well, you are going to be deemed the purchaser of the property. Immediately, as the contract meets my palm, if you are the successful purchaser, your only requirements today are to sign the contract and, of course, pay your deposit. We only ask for 10% of the purchase price today. Balance is then payable on settlement date, and that's transacted through your respective solicitors as well. The only other thing I'm going to cover as far as the conduct of auction is concerned, folks, is vendor bidding. To dispel any myths out there about vendor bids being used to elevate the price of the property, that's an absolute load of rubbish. It never has been, never will be. Vendor bids are simply a technique that I can use as the auctioneer to work alongside you and guide you to what I call the negotiating platform, which is always well south of the vendor's reserve price. I will only use vendor bids if I've only got one person participating in the auction, and I will disclose any vendor bids to you very clearly. So it is simply a transaction there, folks, where if I'm holding the bid on behalf of the vendor, vendors are saying through me to you, thanks but no thanks. If you want to purchase the property, you will need to be above that, but a very transparent process just to get you to that negotiating platform where we pause the auction, give you the opportunity then to continue discussions with our sellers. Obviously, if we reach an agreement, we'll come back, we'll open it up again, and the property will be then sold to the highest bidder. Be very, very clear though, folks, if we don't reach agreement here today and I formally close the auction, anybody can come forward after the auction with a conditional buyer. So your opportunity is right here today. So without further ado, we'll move straight to the property in question, and that is of course the property at number 27 Devoy Drive, as you see there on the screen, marketed by Debbie Smith. And Debbie is obviously your trusted sales lady who brings passion and a warm smile to every home that she presents throughout any marketing campaign, and this one is an absolute cracker. Let's have a quick look at the legal aspects of the property that are about to come up there on the screen. We're selling today at 27 Devoy Drive in Owhata, Rotorua, a freehold estate, 672 square metres of land, more or less, is what's there for you, and that's all described in record of title 174210. You also note there that there's also an undivided 1/5 share of a further 355 square metres, so plenty of land holding there for you as well. Your settlement date, that's the date that you get to call in, press the buzzer, ask for Debbie, and she will hand over the keys once your solicitor has notified us that settlement has taken place, and that is set for the 22nd of November, or of course at any other date that has been mutually agreed between both parties. Just before sharing with you some pearls of wisdom about the property, I do remind you of the additional clause in the contract, clause number 23, which outlines, I won't go through it in its entirety, but it clearly outlines that you are purchasing the property based entirely upon your own judgment and you are purchasing it on an as is, where is basis. So be very clear on that, folks. So without further ado, let's have a quick revisit of the property there. It's nestled in one of Rotorua's most sought after spots there, and this is a home that offers you those wonderful rural and lake views that will make you actually the envy of your neighbourhood. That's how good they are. Real top-notch views as well. Calling all entertainers. If you are entertainers, folks, with the massive deck that this property has got and the pagoda plumbed for a spa pool as well, well, you'll be hosting barbecues and spa nights while your friends secretly actually wish that they were the ones that bid today on this beauty to secure the property at auction. Chef's paradise, that absolutely comes without doubt with this particular property here. It is a kitchen so stunning you might actually enjoy your cooking as well, or basically just standing there and admiring your double gas oven and of course that wonderful butler's pantry. I can tell you now, your food is going to taste so much better when it comes out of this kitchen in this property here at 27 Devoy Drive. Privacy, if you've got teens or you have a lot of guests, you've got lots of privacy with this problem. It's absolutely no problem with that master suite downstairs and the whole separate living area upstairs. You won't even hear them raid the fridge in the middle of the night. So a beautiful property, folks. It's now I've thrown it open for your spirited bidding here today. Our vendor seeks to work with the cash today. Who's got an opening bid to get me started? We don't do silent auctions at EVES, folks. And you are allowed to keep breathing. You don't have to hold your breath when an auctioneer calls for an opening bid. It has to be a genuine number. Throw it out there, folks. You set the benchmark on where you'd like to throw it out there and start me away, and I'll guide you from there. Obviously, if it's a nice big one, we'll sell it to you, but if it's low, I'll guide you on where you need to be to secure this property. Looking for an opening bid now, folks. First call, second time, not here to dilly-dally. Quite happy to work with these conditional interests afterwards. Third and final option for any cash interest. Well, Debbie, we obviously haven't got any cash today. I'm going to formally close the auction now. So call Debbie Smith if you've got any interest in the property or you know of anybody that's looking for an absolutely superb property in a great Rotorua location, then contact Debbie and she'll guide you from there. Just before we close off, folks, I'll just remind you, particularly those watching over the live stream there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. If you want to enter into the Rotorua Lights Parade there for the Christmas lights, then it's being hosted by EVES. Make sure you get your registration in by the 15th of November, I think it was there, Steve. 15th of November, get your property registered there for the Christmas lights. On behalf of the team at EVES, thanks for your attendance today and good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.